In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to achieve depth for your artwork, whether you're working on doing a landscape or figure drawing. So what I'm going to do is start out with putting a wash over this thing, like I always do. I'm going to wash this. And I'm using Brilliant Blue for this. Okay, so to achieve depth for the mountain I'm going to paint, I'm using permanent violet with a bone color, which I've used many times. It's called Titan Buff, and then I add a little bit of like a little touch of burnt umber, just to tone down saturation. Okay, it's dry now, for the most part. One thing to take note of is this is the darkest it's going to be, right? This mountain range over here. But let's say you want to put some trees or some detail of shadows. So what you want to do is not get any darker than this, in the darkest area of this mountain range. So which is the value here and here at the edges. So if you want to put some trees back there, let's say there's trees here, and they're very far away, so they look like little dots. I don't pre-mix all my colors. I don't have a big batch of this dark color. I like to do it as I go. Mix my colors up, because then I get variations. I get variations of the same color, lighter and darker. So I mixed up Brilliant Blue and Violet with that bone color. And I'm going to go ahead and put a mountain in front of that. And as you can tell, it's too dark. To me, it's too dark, so I'm going to lighten that. It's a fine line. You don't want it too light either. So for this layer here that I'm painting in, this will be the darkest that you want to use. So if you want detail here, you want to go with a lighter color. So I find the sky to be just almost a little too boring, and let's say you want to make it lighter, so don't be afraid to make it lighter. Just gotta be a little more careful when you paint near the mountain range. So I mixed brilliant blue and titanium white, and I'm just gonna follow this. And it's okay if you paint into it. It's okay if you go, oops, whatever, it doesn't matter. Because you're bringing out the shape of it. Put in some details of mountains within the shape, just to give it more interest, more depth. And I'm using same colors that I used for this, which was violet, brilliant blue, and Titan buff, which is that bone color. And I have to mix a lighter color, just a little lighter than this. I'm gonna try it here. No, not light enough. Not now. Okay, it's a little lighter. So what I'm gonna do now is brush this on here in different areas to create an effect of detail. Okay, it's dry now. Now for the pine trees here, we want to use the darkest value we have in this section. So something about that dark. We don't want to make it darker because it just won't look right. So I'm going to use something about that darkness to paint in little pine trees. And these are like standing up. Just little miniature brush strokes. Now they might be too dark because, like I said, it dries darker. So I'm going to lighten that up. It's a little too dark for my taste. If you look at the mountain, sometimes you see have a collection of trees where the water collects. There'll be more trees there. There'll be less trees here on these ridges because the water just flows down. Okay, so now I'm going to work on my third layer of mountains. And I used the same three colors that I did for this, except I added burnt umber to darken it a little bit. And I'm going to put that on there. So I've decided to make this guy up here darker. So I'm going to use cerulean blue and the other blue, the bright blue I was using. Mix that up, and the darker blue on the top. It was the brilliant blue I was using. So I'm going to go into Titan buff and white. Actually, you know what I'll do? Go straight to Titan buff just by itself. And let's see what happens here. I really want the clouds to cover that area. I could go over it with white. I'll go straight into titanium white. So now I'm going to bring out some details in this area that I blocked in. And all these brush marks I put in there, I'm going to use those to my advantage and form this out, because I'm just making this thing up, it doesn't really exist. And I'm going to put some highlights here on the left side, like as if light's coming from the left and hitting this this mountain rock area. And I'm using gold ochre and brilliant blue, so it looks a little bit of green because the blue and the gold ochre is sort of yellow. And I'm going to start putting little details. I don't have a photograph to stare at and copy, so I have to just make this stuff up. And so the brush strokes that I leave on there help me with coming up with little details of this rock formation. Now I'm going to sort of dry brush this color into these dark areas, just to smooth out the transition. Just dry brush it on there. So to bring out some more highlights now in this area, I zoomed in so you could see better. I'm going to use Naples yellow and yellow ochre and get a color that's a little lighter than this one and start bringing out the details. Because this is sort of like a rough detail work. I'm going to try this color and see what that looks like. Okay, doesn't look too bad. So now I'm going to do like, I'll be tapping a lot here because this is the lighter color of this rock face. And I will continue doing the little details on the right side. Same two colors, yellow ochre and Naples yellow. More of the Naples yellow, some yellow ochre, and let's see how bright this is. Now these are some of the parts that catch more light. So I'll continue here on the right side, work my way this way. So now I'm going to block in a new shape in front of that one to push that even further back. And I I used 4 colors: permanent violet, ultramarine, Titan buff to sort of gray it out a little bit, and burnt umber to darken it. I'm going to put a wash on this brownish yellow area because it's too, I feel like it's too brown. So I'm going to go ahead and put a cerulean blue wash, which is basically watered down cerulean blue. And let's see what that looks like. I'm just going to put it on there. Basically to tone down the brown areas. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Titanium white and cerulean blue. Mix that up. And I'm going to put it up here. I need some more blue. Yeah. Let's get some more light blue in here. It almost starts to look like more clouds, which is fine. I really don't care. It could be more clouds. You know, you're the artist, sometimes, you know, you can change things. You can always change things. I could do that. There you go. So there's some more clouds up there. And these are done quickly. You know, don't think too much about it. Perfect cloud formations. And you can have some of these sort of blend into the previous clouds over here. So I just had an idea, and what I'm going to do is make this one a lighter color, so I sort of blend it this way. So this is further back than this, so it showed depth. And I'm going to go with the purple permanent violet and some white, a touch of blue. So I'm going to go ahead and start defining the foreground with some detail that I'm just going to sort of make up just by looking at the brush strokes I have there. And I'm going to try to use those to bring some detail out of this. Now for the trees, I'm going to paint on this shadow side. I'm using brilliant green, burnt umber, burnt sienna. Maybe you can put some a little lighter out here. Like that. Maybe they're further away. Now I'm not going to fill this up with a bunch of trees, but I'm going to have, I want something here. some sort of trees. And let's say that's all the trees I'm going to put on there. I'm going to go ahead and make this ground over here lighter. So the sun's hitting this section here. And start making this lighter. And now for the highlights, I'm going to go with Brilliant Green and Naples Yellow and see what that gives me. So there you have it, how to achieve depth and how to do it. And you can put a bigger tree here, but I'm not going to do that. And you can put different boulders and whatever, little shrubs, a little puddle of water if you want. But that's how you get the illusion of depth. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something. Bye.